All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Madam Parliamentarian, will you please call the meeting to order?
All rise. Hear ye, hear ye. This Honorable County Commissioners meeting of Shelby County, Tennessee is now open for the transaction of business pursuant to adjournment. All persons having business with this commission draw near, give attention, and ye shall be heard. Please remain standing.
Okay, thank you. Today for the invocation, we have Apostle Leon Jones from the Dwelling Place. If you wouldn't mind coming to the podium to give our opening prayer. Thank you.
Dear God, thank you for today, and we are grateful for the opportunity to gather together to handle the business of our county. God, we ask you to bless our commissioners and constituents and all that are involved today. We ask that you will give us wisdom on how to go in and come out to conduct business where it will glorify your name, but also bless us as a people. Thank you for this day, and thank you for all that are here. And we ask your blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Commissioner Caswell, would you mind lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. Commissioner Caswell, if you wouldn't mind, Apostle Jones, Commissioner Caswell is coming down for just a token of appreciation from us for you being with us to give us our invocation this afternoon.
Thank you, Chairman. Again, thank you, Apostle, Pastor Leon Jones, a great leader in District 6. Again, thank him for all the great work that you do and continue to be a great leader. I just want to give a quick testimony. This pastor stepped out back in May of last year and started midnight basketball from 8 to 10, 12 o'clock every Friday night, been consistent with that. And on this past Friday, had 17 young men he brought back using basketball as the tool, brought back and got them OSHA certified forklift license through that program. And so I thank you for all your leadership in our city, Pastor. Thank you. All right.
All right, thank you so much.
Chair, we don't have a quorum again.
I think we're working on it. All right, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Okay. Commissioner Clay Bibbs. Caswell. Present. Sugarman. Present. Mills.
Present.
Ford.
Present and accounted for.
Present.
Bradford.
Present.
Thornton. Morrison. Brooks. Lowry. Avant. Chairman Whaley.
Present.
We have 7 present.
Okay, we have a quorum. Can we get approval of the minutes of the previous session without objection? This is from March 31st, 2025. Commissioner Wright.
Mr. Chair, I had a couple of corrections that I've given to Ms. Nichols.
Okay,
So
we have those corrections? Okay, do you want to state what those were before we approve these?
Yes, Mr. Chair. This is just some typos, I think. It's items 19, 21, and 23. The corrected vote count should be 10. On item 19, the correct vote count should be 10 ayes, 0 nays. Item 21, 12 ayes, 0 nays. Item 23, 12 ayes, 0 nays.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Wright. We'll make sure that the minutes reflect that amendment. All right, hearing no objection, those amendments are approved. It's possible to join the meeting in 2 ways: via the designated email account, boc.email@shelbycountykn.gov, or via phone at 901-222-1234. Madam Parliamentarian, please read the rest of the rule.
Members of the public who desire to address the county commission shall request permission by completing an appearance card, which will be given to the chair by a deputy. Members of the public shall be permitted to address the county commission unless ruled out of order by the chair or denied the opportunity to speak by a majority vote of the commissioners present and voting. Please note that as it pertains to public comment, our rules of order set a limit of no longer than 3 minutes when recognized by the chair. The chair may set a limit for discussion by the public of less than 3 minutes for each individual if circumstances require. Finally, to the members of the public, if you would like to express your pleasure or displeasure on a matter before the County Commission, please do so by raising your thumb up or pointing it down, as opposed to applause or other expressions of approval or disapproval. Disruptive members of the public are subject to removal from the Commission chambers by the Deputy Sheriff. Thank you for your attention and in advance for your cooperation today.
Okay, thank you very much. We've got a few staff members who have birthdays the month of April. Want to spend just a few minutes here wishing them happy birthday. Clay Perry on the 3rd of April already had his birthday. Marcy Ingram, Marcy's birthday was the 8th. Happy birthday. And Rosalind Nichols, your birthday's coming up on the 21st, so happy birthday to all of our staff. All right, Madam Parliamentarian, you'll please read item number 2.
Item 2 is a special resolution honoring Tyrone Burroughs for his leadership and dedication to Shelby County, sponsored by Commissioner Erica Sugarman.
All right, thanks so much. Good afternoon, Commissioner Sugarman.
Good afternoon, Chair and colleagues. Again, I'd like to ask that Mr. Burroughs' wife join me at the podium. And this is a special resolution honoring Tyrone Burroughs for his leadership and dedication to Shelby County. Whereas the Shelby County Board of Commissioners acknowledges and honors individuals who spend every day making a difference in Shelby County. And Tyrone Burroughs shall be recognized for his tireless devotion and effort to serving the county. Whereas Burroughs was born and raised in Lane, South Carolina, he graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in History and Political Science from Benedict College and attended graduate school at the University of South Carolina, where he met his lovely wife, Nelda. Whereas in 1987, Burroughs founded First Choice Sales and Marketing Company. As president and CEO, he is the driving force behind the company's strategic growth solutions and assists global consumer goods manufacturers, distributors, and retailers in bringing market expansion and revenue. His company is positioned as one of the top leaders of a $1.7 trillion multicultural personal care market. And whereas in 2017, Benedict College awarded Burroughs with an honorary doctorate of humane letters and recognized him for his contributions to business, education, and philanthropy by renaming its School of Business and Economics to the Tyrone Administration Burroughs School of Business and Entrepreneurship. He was recently placed on the prestigious Memphis Business Journal Power 100 as one of the most influential business leaders in the Memphis region. And whereas Burroughs is the founder of and chairman of the Burroughs Foundation and a member of the Benedict College Board of Trustees, the St. Jude Memphis African American Engagement Council, and the Memphis Theological Seminary. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Shelby County Board of Commissioners that we hereby honor Tyrone Burroughs for his devotion and exceptional leadership to Memphis and Shelby County. Congratulations, and thank you so much for your service. He brought a speech.
Not quite, but good afternoon, Commissioner Sugarman, members of the Shelby County Commission. I am both honored and humbled to accept this resolution. But first, I would like to acknowledge our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who is the guidance and love and grace and has been the cornerstone for my journey. To be recognized by the community that shaped me and I continue to serve is one of the greatest affirmations I could receive. This moment is not just about me, right? It represents the collective work of dedication of the team that works with me on a daily basis, and also a loving family and a community that believes in the power of possibilities. Through First Choice, the Burroughs Foundation, R.S. Lewis and Sons Funeral Home, and Guthrie's, we just didn't set out to build a business. or build businesses. We aim to build a bridge to opportunity, a bridge to equity, and a bridge to generational wealth that strengthens our neighborhoods and empower our people. Thanks to you for this recognition. It inspires me to keep pushing forward, but not just pushing forward, but doing it with a purpose, with passion, and with the people of Shelby County at heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Burroughs. Before you leave, got one commissioner that would like to share a word with you, Commissioner Caswell.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to thank you for being an outstanding community partner from the back-to-school drives you're doing, and you've done for us in District 6 with so many of our churches, schools and community leaders there. I thank you for your leadership, and thank you for the awesome job your funeral home did laying my pastor to rest, Pastor Ricky Floyd, a couple of weeks ago. So thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Lowry?
Thank you, Chairman. Also, Mr. Burroughs, to you and your wife and your family, so much. Thank you for all the work you've done. Thank you for being so strong supporter of our community, even the work that you even do with your college, with Benedict College, and making sure that they have experiences here in Memphis as a supporter of other HBCUs as well. So I think all of us probably calling you at one time or another to help with something, and you always show up. That's just the truth at the end of the day. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Burroughs. Madam Parliamentarian, please read item 3.
Item 3 is a special resolution honoring Dr. William Arnold, sponsored by Commissioner Mikkel Lowry.
All right, Commissioner Lowry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, body. Thank you so much for the time. I'm honored to sit here and recognize an outstanding citizen for his contributions. Dr. William E. Arnold has over 20 years experience in higher education, public service, and community work. Dr. Arnold is a well-known national speaker, consultant, and advocate for justice and second chances. So here's the deal, commissioners. He's committed to helping people successfully re-enter society after being involved in the justice system himself. After being wrongfully convicted, Dr. Arnold was released in April 15th of 2020. That experience inspired him to dedicate his life to justice reform and helping others to rebuild their lives. He now leads the Office of Tennessee Office Reentry as the Senior Director. In that role, he works to build up workforce opportunities and support returning citizens. Dr. Arnold brings 15 years of leadership experience and is certified by the Tennessee Government Management Institute. Throughout his career, he's pushed for education, economic opportunity, and fairness for all. He works to break down the systemic barriers that promote justice through restoration and inclusion. So now, commissioners, I appreciate it that if we now let it be resolved that we now do honor Dr. William E. Arnold Jr. for his contributions to public service, his advocacy for restorative justice, for all he does for our county. Thank you so much, commissioners.
Thank you. I just want to say, first of all, just thank you to the people who made this happen, to Commissioner Lowry, to Commissioner Caswell for your support, and also to Ms. Rucker and the committee for allowing this to happen. It's an honor because tomorrow will be 5 years since I've come home from a wrongful incarceration. I spent 2,491 days, 2 hours and 11 minutes as inmate 524840 in the Tennessee Department of Correction. And so to be able to come home, to come back to Memphis is a proud product of the Memphis City school system. I always got to give it up for where it all started. And standing behind me is the power of faith, family, and friends. These are the people who lifted me up and held me down throughout that process. And I just want you all to know that if you stay faithful, if you have a dedicated group of family and a wonderful network of friends, there's nothing you can't do. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Dr. Arnold. Hold on one quick second here. Commissioner Caswell, you have the floor.
Mr. Arnold, again, I just want to say, man, I'm proud of you and the work that you're doing. I know that the position you're in, you're right. You're the right person for that position. I'm just truthfully praying that the governor not only go further than appointing you to that position, but make sure your record is clean and that you get your rights restored back to you as it should, making sure that this is not hanging over your head. But thank you for your great work and the lives that you're transforming. You remind me of my brother, Pastor DeAndre Brown, and his role as our director of reentry in his path as well. So
Indeed.
Continue to be that light to others. Bless you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks so much. Thank you, Commissioner Lowry. Next, before we review the consent agenda, we'll go to general comment. First up, we have Joby Kent. All right, Mr. Kent, name and address in 3 minutes.
Joe Kent, 5111 Flamingo. While rarely I find myself in agreement with the comptroller and Mayor Harris, who were recently pictured on Facebook with Regional 1, I have recently toured, not by choice, our medical industry and have found Regional 1 to be the most professional and competent from a customer's perspective from top to bottom. No surprise bills. The support workforce is regional with the doctors, a national product, and which includes my smart and attractive lead doctor, Ava Sadian from Wichita, Kansas. Next, I asked all my doctors where they're from, and they were from Virginia Beach, Missouri, Miami, and South Carolina. Regional 1 needs no help with workforce development and training. So please stay away and keep the chamber away. Okay? Please. Next, with all of the headlines calling for transparency, there has been no legislative response from you. You continue to create entities that bunker public dollars from transparency, like Seeding Success in item 33. Fiscally liberal, non-transparent. I don't know what the Constitution says about that, but it's physically liberal, non-transparent, and goes against all principles of our American government, which I am against. Number 33, item 33. All the orgs are part of the Memphis Tomorrow and diverse chamber complex that you refuse to oversee. The chamber does not care about the local economy and only cares about the families of Memphis, corporations, local developers, and public funding for themselves. As far as the zoo, it's a subsidized, market-based retail operation. So you might as well fund Target and Walmart with your public funding. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Sugarman?
Thank you, Chair. I just want to say welcome back, Joe Kent. We missed your good tension and also the fact that you do a lot of research, and it does not go unnoticed. We notice you. And so welcome back, and I'm glad you're in good health.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner Sugarman. All right, next up for general comment, We have Laramie Wheeler.
Laramie Wheeler, 240 Madison Avenue, Suite 104, Memphis 38103. I work for Just City, and we receive a lot of jail mail from the inmates who are experiencing 201 Poplar from the inside, and I wanted to read a couple of those to you today. All personal and case information has been redacted. To Just City. On September 27th, 2024, I suffered a stroke and heart attack in this Shelby County Jail's lower level, and I had to be put in the hospital regional medical center for 7 days until October 3rd, 2024. According to the heart doctor there, I need open heart surgery, and they claim they already got me on the schedule for open heart surgery, but they would not tell me when the date is, but soon. I am already confined to a wheelchair and walking cane, and I am a mental patient. I have been taking mental health medication on and off for over 20 years, and I am presently in the mental health program here at the Shelby County Jail, and I'm on mental health medication right now. If I have open heart surgery, I would like to recover at home and not in jail, because I know for a fact that I'll die here if I don't get out of here to have my open heart surgery. I have not received a Social Security check for 4.5 years, and I have been taken off my mental health medication, homeless. I can't walk or stand long without the use of a wheelchair or walking cane. Both of my hands were injured previously, so I got very little use of both my hands. I haven't been to court for the last 2 months because these jailers don't want to push me to court in the wheelchair. See if you can get them in Division 4 to get me to court on December 2nd, 2024. March 30th. Dear Miss Laramie, how are you doing? I'm writing to let you know that last Monday on 3/24/2025, another inmate on the second floor medical fell out and had a heat stroke in B pod of the medical second floor. The air has been off in the building and it is too hot inside. The jail, especially on the medical floor, second floor, it's not even summer yet. The jail has been providing large fans and small floor blowers that were supposed to be in the doorway or the sally port of each cell block or pod, to blow air into the cell and pods to cool the inmates off. Every time these jailers come to work on each shift, they take the fans and blowers away from the inmates and turn them on themselves, and let the mental health and inmates with serious medical problems, like myself with a heart blockage, burn up in the heat while they enjoy our fans and blowers. The previous inmate had to be admitted in the original medical center for several days for heat stroke, and he was discharged on Wednesday, 3/26. He is back on the second medical pod. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wheeler. Commissioners, before we call the consent agenda, we're going to take 3 minutes to review the agenda if there are any items that you wish to pull. Madam Clerk, please put 3 minutes on the clock. All right, Commissioner Ford.
Chair, I'd like to pull item 12.
Okay, item 12. I'm going to pull item 8. I believe we have a comment card on it, so we're going to pull item 8. Anything else? Okay, hearing none, so the items pulled will be items number 8 and items number 12. Madam Parliamentarian, will you please read the rest of the consent agenda with the exception of the items pulled?
Yes. Item 4 comes from the Budget and Finance Committee with Chairman Whaley as acting chair. Item 4 is a resolution approving a contract with the Masters Touch LLC to provide tax notice mailing services for Shelby County government and municipalities commencing on July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2027, with the option to renew for 2 additional one-year periods upon written consent of the parties. This item requires the expenditure of trustee FY 2026 general funds in the amount not to exceed $121,678.45. Sponsored by Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs. Items 5 through 7 come from the Hospitals and Health Committee with Commissioner Sugarman as acting chair. Item 5 is a resolution approving a 3-year computer equipment warranty with Lodox NA LLC with an annual cost of $20,333 with a total contract amount not to exceed $60,999. Warranty is for the provision of Lodox imaging machine for imaging equipment located at West Tennessee Regional Forensic Center for the Office of the Shelby County Medical Examiner. Warranties for the period beginning July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2028. This item requires expenditure of FY 2025 general funds for an annual contract amount not to exceed $20,333 for year 1. Sponsored by Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs. Item 6 is a resolution amending the FY 2025 Shelby County Health Department Position Control Budget to split position number 230253 50% from general fund and 50% from grant fund per the grantor beginning September 1, 2024 through August 30, 2025. This item requires the expropriation and expenditure of the FY 2025 grant and general funds in an amount not to exceed $33,522.50. Sponsored by Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs. Item 7 is a resolution approving a 3-year computer software warranty and IQ WebX PACS with an annual cost of $5,430 for a total contract amount not to exceed $16,290. The warranty is for the provision of PACS software support for imaging equipment located at the West Tennessee Regional Forensic Center for the Office of the Shelby County Medical Examiner. Software warranty is for the period beginning July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2028. This item requires the expenditure of FY 2025 general funds for an annual contract amount not to exceed $5,430 for year 1. Sponsored by Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs. Item 9 comes from the Land Use Planning, Transportation, and Code Enforcement Committee with Commissioner Bradford as vice chair. Item 9 is a resolution approving a contract with Excella Inc. for the provision of software maintenance and support services for the Division of Planning and Development and all associated city and county agency partners. The contract commences upon execution and will continue through February 6, 2026, with 2 additional one-year options to renew. This item requires the expenditure of construction code enforcement enterprise funds in the amount of $725,497.52. Sponsored by Commissioner Shantae K. Avant. Items 10, 11, and 13 and 14 come from the General Government Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Brooks. Item 10 is a resolution approving the election of notaries public for appointment and a reappointment for Shelby County, Tennessee, sponsored by Commissioner Henry E. Brooks. Item 11 is a resolution approving the county mayor's nomination of Raj Kurapati for appointment to the Shelby County Health Care Corporation, sponsored by Commissioner Henry E. Brooks. Item 13 is a resolution to enhance the accessibility of digital assets throughout Shelby County government by recommending the adoption of a uniform website domain name standard, sponsored by Commissioner McWright and Commissioner Brittany Thornton. Item 14 is a resolution requesting county officials collaborate with information technology IT services to explore and adopt artificial intelligence AI applications and to develop guidelines for AI implementation in order to improve productivity, decrease costs, and enhance service offerings throughout Shelby County government. Sponsored by Commissioner McWright, Commissioner Erica Sugarman, and Commissioner Brittany Thornton. Items 15 and 16 come from the Forest City Neighborhoods and Housing Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Brooks. Item 15 is a resolution approving the conveyance of one county-owned delinquent tax parcel acquired by Shelby County from Shelby County Tax Sale Number 1304 to the City of Memphis for nominal consideration for use in the City of Memphis's Parks Division pursuant to Tennessee Code Annotated Section 67-5-2507B1A and authorizing the county mayor to execute a quitclaim deed, sponsored by Commissioner Henry E. Brooks. Item 16 is a resolution approving the sale of 39 county-owned delinquent tax parcels acquired by Shelby County from various Shelby County tax sales to identified purchasers at various prices, collectively totaling $204,350 pursuant to Tennessee Code Annotated Section 67-5-2507 and authorizing the Shelby County Mayor to execute quitclaim deeds, sponsored by Commissioner Henry E. Brooks. Items 17 through 31 come from the Milton Community Enhancement Grants Committee with Commissioner Thornton as Vice Chair. Item 17 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $10,000 to the City of Germantown, a governmental entity. This item requires expenditure of $10,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner David C. Bradford Jr. Item 18 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $2,500 to Main Up Memphis, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $2,500 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs. Item 19 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $5,000 to New Day Children's Theater, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $5,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner David C. Bradford Jr. Item 20 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $5,000 to Memphis Child's Advocacy Center, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $5,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Mikkel Lowry. Item 21 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $5,000 to Collierville Arts Council, Inc., a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $5,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner David C. Bradford Jr. Item 22 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $15,000 to Collierville Citizens Police Association, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $15,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner David C. Bradford Jr. Item 23 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $10,000 to Ballet Memphis, a charitable organization. This item requires the expenditure of $10,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Shante K. Avant. Item 24 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $10,000 to Paige Robbins Adult Daycare Center, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $10,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Shante K. Avant and Commissioner David C. Bradford Jr. Item 25 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $5,000 to Southside Wildcats Organization, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $5,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Brittany Thornton. Item 26 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $10,000 to Bevo Boys Fitness Academy, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $10,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs. Item 27 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $15,000 to the Town of Collierville Fire Department, a governmental entity. This item requires an expenditure of $15,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner David C. Bradford Jr. Item 28 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $7,500 to Lemoyne Owen College Community Development Corporation, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $7,500 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Shante K. Avant. Item 29 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $5,000 to Telugu Association of Memphis, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $5,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner David C. Bradford Jr. Item 30 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $7,500 to the Town of Collierville, a governmental entity. This item requires an expenditure of $7,500 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner David C. Bradford Jr. Item 31 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2025 operating budget in the amount of $2,500 to Neighborhood Christian Centers, Inc., a charitable organization. This item requires expenditure of $2,500 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Mikkel Lowry.
Okay, thank you very much. If we can get a mover and seconder on the consent agenda. Moved by Commissioner Sugarman, seconded by Commissioner Thornton. Madam Clerk, please prepare the screen to vote on the consent agenda with the exception of items 8 and 12. Okay, we can close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Caswell, Sugarman, Mills, Ford, Wright, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. We have 9 aye votes.
Okay, consent agenda passes. Item number 8.
Item 8 comes from the Law Enforcement Corrections and Courts Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Wright. Item 8 is a resolution receiving and filing a report produced by the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury's Office of Research and Education Accountability following its investigation of the criminal justice system in Shelby County and requesting Shelby County leaders adopt its recommendations, sponsored by Commissioner McWright and Commissioner David C. Bradford Jr.
Okay, thank you. Item 8, moved by Commissioner Mills, seconded by Commissioner Ford. Commissioner Wright, can we have a committee report?
Yes, Mr. Chair, this comes out with a favorable recommendation.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a comment card here from Tamika Williams. All right, good afternoon. If you'll just state your name, address, 3 minutes.
Okay, good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Tamika Williams, and my address, well, I'm coming from juvenile court. Do you need my home address?
Yeah, just give the juvenile court address.
Okay, 616 Adams Avenue.
Okay, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. Basically, my name is Tamika Williams, and I've proudly served Shelby County government for nearly 10 years. I come before you today not to cause division, but to speak truthfully and to ask for accountability and resolution, not just for myself, but for the many others who are too afraid to speak up. I want to begin by saying I didn't plan to be here speaking today. In fact, it was only this morning that I called the commissioner's office and spoke with a wonderful young lady who reminded me that awareness is key. Her words inspired me to write this speech and to speak my truth because I know that staying silent does not lead to change. Recently, my position as the data research specialist was eliminated without warning, without proper explanation, and without being offered any alternative role. This happened shortly after I respectfully asked for clarification about my evolving job duties following a reassignment to the IT team. Instead of receiving a response, I was removed. Meanwhile, 3 male employees whose roles were also impacted were all offered alternative positions, and 2 were promoted. I, on the other hand, was offered nothing. This is not just an oversight, it reflects a troubling lack of equity and consistency. Let me be clear, I am not here just to complain. I have a proven record of excellence. I've led successful IT campaigns for both individuals like Judge Lonnie Thompson and Judge Betty Thomas Moore, both of whom are currently in office. That work speaks to my competence, commitment, and character. For 7 years, I prepared the Juvenile Court's annual report with diligence and pride. My performance has never been in question. Yet over the last year, I've witnessed questionable decisions and experienced retaliation after filing a formal complaint against leadership. That same leader conducted her own investigation and found no wrongdoing. With no union representation in our department, there are no safeguards for employees like myself. I have continued to walk on eggshells, remain professional, and perform my duties without complaint. Today, I'm asking this commission to step in to ensure there's fairness, accountability, and real protection for county employees. I simply want the opportunity to keep the job I love, or to be offered a fair and equal position, just like others have. More importantly, I am asking to return to, more importantly, let me get my composure. More importantly, I am asking for a return to mutual respect, truthfulness, and integrity in the workplace. The retaliation, misleading narratives, and unchecked power cannot continue. Not if we truly want to strengthen this court and serve the people we honor, or with honor. Thank you for your time, for listening, and for allowing me to share not only my truth, but the reality faced by many who feel voiceless in this system.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Thank you for taking the time to be here and share your story. Before you go, Commissioner Thornton, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. I'm looking in the back to see, is Director Thornton here from the administration? Is anyone from HR here from the administration?
Yes, he is here. Director Thornton, if you want to come on down, please.
Yes. Whenever you're ready. Director Thornton, thank you. So I'm assuming that you heard
I did.
Miss.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. So Ms. Williams just gave a particular situation that she's dealing with.
Okay.
It's HR related, and I would like to have an update concerning the other people that she mentioned were also terminated but rehired. If you could just give a status update of what's happening with the personnel shifts within the office that she's coming from today. And then also, if you could just explain protocol for when we replace. I've seen in our office multiple people come from different departments. And so how does that work when a position is phased out? Like anything that you can say related to the position, why it may or may not exist, and what is our county policy on rehiring in other departments?
Gerald Thornton, Director of Human Resources. With all due respect, I was not paying attention back there. I was talking to the budget director, so I have a slight idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so, I mean, we come to these meetings to pay attention, so that not being a viable excuse, Ms. Williams has taken her time to be able to express herself. So I don't know, Chair, do we have to go back through the whole thing again because the director has not paid attention today, or?
No, we don't need to do that. I think what we can do, Commissioner Thorne, if it's okay with you, Director Thorne, if you want to make sure that you get with Ms. Williams and we investigate what's happening and give a report back. I think these are good questions just to have clarity, but I think that's something that can be accomplished. Commissioner Thornton?
Thank you. So as they're catching up to speed, if you could just report back to this body, and then Ms. Williams, if you could just reach back out if you have any lingering needs.
Okay.
Okay.
It sounds like she's got an issue with elected officials, so therefore my office will not get involved in that. But I will sit down and talk to her and give her a report back, but it
Okay,
sounds like
all
there's
right, thank you, Director
Okay.
Thorne. Thank you. I think we can, Commissioner Thorne, we'll make sure this is followed up on. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Williams, for being here. All right, Madam Clerk, please prepare the screen to vote on item number 8. Okay, we can close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Caswell, Sugarman, Mills, Ford, Wright, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. We have 9 aye votes.
Item 8 passes. Item number 12.
Item 12 comes from the General Government Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Brooks. Item 12 is a resolution reappointing Will Frazier as the chairman to the Shelby County Beer Board and appointing Will Richardson as the vice chairman to the Shelby County Beer Board, sponsored by Commissioner McWright.
Item 12, moved by Commissioner Sugarman, seconded by Commissioner Thornton. I was in this committee. It came down with a favorable recommendation. Commissioner Ford.
Chair, I'd like to move to divide this question for the purposes of having 2 votes, so I'd like to make the motion to bifurcate.
All right. Second. All right. So Commissioner Ford has moved to divide the question to vote on it both for the chairman and the vice chairman of the beer board, seconded by Commissioner Thornton. Can we do that without objection? Okay, hearing none, that motion is approved. So we will first call the vote on the nomination of the reappointment of Will Frazier as chairman to the Shelby County Bureau Board.
Chair, I still got 2 minutes and 35 seconds left. I still wanted to speak.
Do you want to speak on the first, so we
I can
divided
get it all out the way on both.
Okay, all right, Commissioner Ford.
Chair, I will not be voting in favor of either one of these candidates. I think that we could have better people on the beer board. There are organizations that they're affiliated with that I believe do not practice good anything. So I will not be voting in favor of the first item, and I'll be abstaining on the second item. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, Madam Clerk, please prepare the screen to vote on the first item here, which is the reappointment of Will Frazier as chairman of the Shelby County Bureau Board. Okay, we can close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Caswell, Sugarman, Mills, Wright, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. Commissioner Ford is voting no. Have 8 ayes and 1 no.
Okay, 12A passes. We're now on 12B, which is the appointment of Will Richardson as vice chairman to the Shelby County Beer Board. Seeing no one wish to comment on this, Madam Clerk, please prepare the screen to vote on 12B. Okay, we can close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Caswell, Sugarman, Mills, Wright, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. Commissioner Ford is abstained. We have 8 ayes and 1 abstain.
12B passes. Before we go to the regular agenda, we had one more general comment card. I'm going to call them up. Georgette Brooks. If you'll just come forward, state your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Yes, my name is Georgette Brooks. My address is 2017 Winchester Road, Memphis, Tennessee 38116. I am here. Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for one of the commissioners for encouraging me to come here. I am dealing with an ongoing issue of harassment from the City of Memphis and City of Memphis Code Enforcement. This has been going on for a couple of years. It's a lot involved. There's a lot to it. At this point, to be quite honest with you, emotionally, I'm numb. I just got a letter in the mail Friday about trash on our property. Well, we are about to rehab, and we put trash out on the curb. It's been out there for 30 days. I've called 311. My sisters called 311. I called 311 this morning, and they tell us they're behind. I am the woman in 2018 that was dragged out of her home by 20 Memphis police cops because I would not let them in my home without a warrant. We are the only dog sanctuary rescue in this area of color, and we were targeted. There's a lot more to it, but that's the crux of it. I have been watched, stalked, assaulted, name defamed, if that's the proper wording. You name it, I've been through it. I am looking for some resolution and some help. Again, I am numb at this point, and we're tired. And I refuse to accept being violated in the ways that I've been violated in Memphis by the Memphis police, the court systems. I was threatened in open court by Judge Joe Day Jenkins in Chancery Court. We went through 6 dirty lawyers. In environmental court, Judge Dandridge refused to acknowledge the fact that there was no warrant to enter my home. I was dragged out of my home. They lied and said I was crazy, y'all. That was the lie they gave. Okay? I'm not, and I wasn't. Not then and not now. All of my constitutional rights were overlooked and ignored. Then Memphis Animal Services, who kills anything in sight, breaks in my house and steals our dogs. We had just received a $5,000 private grant for outside kennels. We're tired. We're tired. I have fought, and I will still fight to the death. I will let you know that now. The city of Memphis has still refused to return my dogs that they stole out of our home. Alexis Pugh, Glenn Andrews is over Horn Lake. Glenn Andrews threatened me twice. Matthew Ballou, Jim Strickland was aware of everything. Jennifer Sink was a city attorney at the time. She told me in bankruptcy court that they could do whatever they wanted to do.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ms. Brooks. Hang on 1 second. Commissioner Ford?
Thank you, and Commissioner Thornton and I are not territorial, so I don't know which part of Winchester Road this is, which is either 9 or 10, but notwithstanding, you got 2 people up here as well as a councilman behind you, so we're gonna go ahead and get all your information so that we can go ahead and see what's going on, and we want to make sure that it gets resolved in any type of way. And if it doesn't get resolved, let me know so I can do what I need to do. And I empathize with you with people messing with you and everything, but you fight just like me, and I appreciate you.
It's either in your blood or it's not.
Exactly. So after we finish up, after Commissioner Thornton speaks, I'll come down there. We'll get all the information we need to get from you, okay? All right, so don't leave. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Ford. Commissioner Thornton?
Thank you, Chair. I just want to thank you for following through and coming out today. I took her call on a Friday at 4 o'clock, and we just, in listening to her, I was just like, where do we go from here? So I trust that you're in good hands with Commissioner Ford. If there's anything I can do to support, just let me know. But I just appreciate you for modeling what it looks like to be civically engaged and utilizing this avenue. Like, this public comment process will open up doors for you, and I hope that you get some type of resolution, because it's a lot, and I just empathize with you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Thornton, and thank you, Commissioner Ford. All right, Madam Parliamentarian, please read item 32.
Item 32 comes from the Land Use Planning, Transportation, and Code Enforcement Committee with Commissioner Bradford as Vice Chair. Item 32 is an ordinance first reading. Ordinance amending the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code as adopted by Shelby County on August 9th, 2010 to approve a zoning district change pursuant to Chapter 9.5 for property in unincorporated Shelby County located at 10827 U.S. Highway 64, being case numbers Z 2024-011CO. Sponsored by Commissioner Shante Abe.
Item 32 is moved by Commissioner Sugarman, seconded by Commissioner Thornton. Commissioner Bradford, can we have a committee report?
Yes, this comes down with a favorable recommendation.
All right, thank you very much. This ordinance is on first reading. Madam Clerk, please prepare the screen to vote on item 32. All right, we can close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Caswell, Sugarman, Wright, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. Commissioner Mills has abstained. We have 7 ayes and 1 abstain.
Item 32 goes to second reading. Item 33.
Item 33 comes from the Education Committee with Chairman Whaley as acting chair. Item 33 is on third reading, so Chair, once it is properly before us, I ask that you allow me to read the summary into the record. Item 33, ordinance third reading, joint ordinance of Shelby County Government and the City of Memphis to continue a program for high-quality early childhood pre-kindergarten pre-K for all, sponsored by Commissioner Brittany Thornton, Chairman Michael Whaley, Commissioner Ms. Clay Bibbs, Commissioner Erica Sugarman, Commissioner Mikkel Lowry, Commissioner Shante K. Avant, Commissioner Charlie A. Caswell Jr., and Commissioner Mick Wright.
Okay, thank you. Item 33 is moved by Commissioner Thornton. We need a second. Seconded by Commissioner Caswell. I served as chairman of the committee. Comes with a favorable recommendation. Madam Parliamentarian, will you please read the summary?
The summary for this item is as follows. Joint ordinance of Shelby County Government and the City of Memphis to create a program for high-quality early childhood pre-kindergarten for all through the appointment of a fiscal agent to provide strategy and oversight to distribution of funds on behalf of the county and city. Shelby County Government, in partnership with the City of Memphis, proposes expanding the current pre-K services to serve all pre-K students throughout Shelby County without regard to income. Under the current model, Shelby County Government and the City of Memphis rely on a fiscal agent to determine eligibility based on the state's guidelines for the Voluntary Pre-K Act of 2005 and federal guidelines for the Head Start Act of 2007. Both these acts include income limits, among other things. This new ordinance proposes a universal pre-K program, and the student's age and residency will be the only eligibility criteria. The ordinance does not allocate a specific amount of funding. The city and county mayors shall jointly select an authorized fiscal agent subject to the approval of their respective legislative bodies. The fiscal agent is empowered to seek loans and grants from state, federal, and local agencies and to accept loans, grants, or donations from public and private sources. I want to check with the county attorney in terms of the voting requirement on this item.
Marcy Ingram, Legislative Council, requires a 2/3 vote.
Sorry, can you explain that further? 2/3 of the membership? And why is
Marcy
that?
Ingram, yes, Mr. Chairman. Marcy Ingram, Legislative Council, it requires 9 votes.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, Dr. Thomas, do you want to give an overview? I do have a few comment cards here that I want to make sure we get to, but if you'd like to give an overview, now would be a great time to do it.
Sure, thank you. Good afternoon, Candace Thomas, First State Memphis, 1350 Concourse Avenue, Suite 481. First, thank you all for your support thus far in Pre-K for All. It's a very, very, very big deal for a community to have access to Pre-K at 3 and 4 years old and regardless of income. In last week's Education Committee, Commissioner Thornton, you asked about Oak Haven and South Memphis and early childhood services there. So specifically, First State Memphis with city and county funds has 12 funded classrooms in the Oak Haven area, including, as you know, the Porterleith at American Way, as well as Cadazzle Flying Start on Independent. And we're still doing a lot of work to understand the current need in Oak Haven and how to potentially expand in the future. But as of now, we have a lot of programs in that area serving young children.
Okay, thank you very much. If you don't mind, I'm going to go to the comment cards now, and if we have any further discussion after that, we can go there. First up, we have Notoria Carpenter. Number 1, come on down. Well, hold on 1 second. Just want to call your attention to the decorum rules from earlier. If there's something that you're pleased by, we strongly encourage a thumbs up. The verbal, the noise interrupts sort of the flow of the meeting and people that are listening, and so we want to make sure that we keep the decorum here. So thumbs up are great. All right, Notoria Carpenter, state your name and address, 3 minutes.
Notoria Carpenter, 1637 Britton. I'm here today because pre-K, I have a senior in high school that graduates actually in a month, and he got his start through pre-K, and you can tell the difference with so many children in our city struggling in literacy. We see that at 70% for our children not on read level in pre-K, give them the start that they need going on into school. And I think it's the foundation before you get to school, and my son had that foundation. And also, everybody know we need a high quality education, teachers, and curriculum. So I'm here supporting First Aid because I advocate for great education anyway. So I'm asking you all to please increase those fundings.
Okay, thank you very much. Next up, we have Laura Garza. All right, welcome. State your name and address. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Laura Garza. I'm located at 1350 Concourse Avenue, and my son attends Sukasa Preschool in Fraser. I'm proud to speak to you today as a parent, former teacher, and an advocate for quality early childhood education. The early years of a child's life are crucial for their development. In pre-K, my child has blossomed in so many various developmental areas, one of which is socially and emotionally. My child has learned to interact with peers, share, and express their feelings, which are all fundamental skills for future relationships and academic success in the classroom. As a bilingual parent, it's also important for my child to be able to communicate fluently in both languages, and Sukasa is fostering those language acquisition skills. By having access to quality childcare, my husband and I are able to work and pursue our educational and career goals, while also having the peace of mind that our son is learning and growing in a nurturing academic environment. This peace of mind is something that every parent deserves, and it plays a significant role in the well-being of families in our community. As parents, we get to contribute to our community's economy and career pool because of the access we have to high-quality daycare. However, it is not lost on us that this is a privilege, but access to high-quality education should not be a privilege, but rather a civil right for all of our children. Thank you for your support for Pre-K for All. Tennessee has made so many strides in early childhood education, but we must still do even more. We can do this through an increase in funding for pre-K so that we can finally be proactive in terms of fostering educational success. With more resources, we can provide better training for our teachers, develop more engaging and meaningful curriculum, hopefully more dual language programs so that we can keep up with our ever-changing society, and create learning environments that foster academic and social success. We need to ensure that every child in Tennessee has access to high-quality pre-K, regardless of their family background, zip code, or socioeconomic status. I urge you all to be proactive and consider the long-term impact of early childhood education. Investing in our youngest learners is not just an investment in their future, but it's an investment for the future of our city and the future of our state. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have Dyvalin Gordon.
Good afternoon, County Commissioners and advocates. It is an honor to stand before you today in strong support of Pre-K for All. On behalf of Interim Superintendent Roderick Richmond and the entire Memphis Shelby County Schools family, I want to extend...
Sorry, give your name again
Oh,
for
I'm
the
sorry.
record.
It's Dyvalin Gordon, 3030 Jackson Avenue.
Okay, you may continue.
Okay. You want me to start over?
That's all right.
Okay.
You can, no, keep going where you are.
Okay. So at Memphis Shelby County Schools, we are deeply committed to the Cradle to Career vision, an approach that recognizes early education as the foundation upon a child's future. Research tells us that 90% of the brain development occurs before the age of 5, making early learning not only a smart investment, but a moral imperative for our community that values equity, opportunity, and long-term progress. Locally, the impact of early education is both visible and measurable. In Shelby County, children who attend high-quality pre-K programs are significantly more likely to demonstrate kindergarten readiness and maintain their growth through third grades. It is a true predictor of a child's success for high school graduation, workforce participation, and yet, despite these proven benefits, only 40% of the incoming kindergartens meet readiness benchmarks, a statistic that highlights the clear and urgent gap in our access. Expanding access to pre-K is not only an educational issue, but it's a public safety, workforce, and economic development issue. Decades of research confirm that children who start school behind are more likely to struggle academically, experience disengagement, and face greater risk of being a part of a juvenile justice system. Our community, like ours, there are so many families who face so many barriers, and they lack the opportunities for high quality early access. if we do not expand the program to stretch across Shelby County. We cannot alone. In this understanding, we cannot work alone. I want to extend my appreciation for the Shelby County Board of Commissioners who had the forward-thinking leadership of passing a resolution in support of pre-K for all. This resolution represents more than a symbolic gesture. It is a call to action and the foundation of sustainable systemic investment in our children as a collective in this community. As Executive Director of our Early Childhood Program for Memphis Shelby County Schools, I see and we see in firsthand the transformation that happens when our children really begin to start with our pre-K in a quality program. Memphis Shelby County Schools leadership, we stand ready to collaborate with the Shelby County Commissioners and our first aid partners. We understand that universal pre-K must be a reality for our community. Together we can build a future which every child in Shelby County enters kindergarten ready, a ready learner, and is able to contribute a meaningful, productive citizen in our society. Thank you for your time, your partnership, and your unwavering commitment to our youngest learners. We appreciate all of your support as Shelby County Commissioners. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Gordon. Thank you for being here. Next up, we have Yvonne Matlock. All right, very good to see you. If you state your name and address, you have 3 minutes.
I will. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, commissioners. It is my pleasure to be here. My name is Yvonne Matlock. I am a board member of First Aid and a former director of Shelby County Health Department. This is my first visit back here to this body to give evidence or testimony since I left the county government, but it's an honor to come here on this particular occasion for this particular issue. As a board member of First Aid, I read with interest some comments in the Sunday's commercial appeal that a parent made about how troubled she was when her children went to first grade or into kindergarten in the Shelby County school system. And she found that many children came totally unprepared to read. They were not ready to learn how to read as they entered first grade. There's probably one good solid solution to that, and that is to assure that we have a quality system that provides quality early childhood education in Shelby County. Thank you for your contribution and your support to making sure that we can be able to say that we have one and see that we have one. Part of that requirement for a quality system is that that system is aligned. It is aligned for long-term outcomes. When pre-K programs are well coordinated, children enter kindergarten better prepared, leading to better achievement at higher rates throughout their K-12 journey. First Aid Memphis plays a crucial role in aligning pre-K efforts by fostering collaboration, enhancing quality, advocating for policy change, and engaging families. It is a comprehensive approach that supports a vision of a community where all children have access to high-quality early childhood education, thus laying a strong foundation for their future academic and life successes. By prioritizing an investment in early education, First Aid is contributing to the overall development of the Memphis community and its youngest residents. Studies indicate that each dollar spent on early childhood education can save families and taxpayers $7 to $10 in future costs related to education, health care, and criminal justice. A well-educated workforce is also a crucial component for economic growth and competitiveness. Funding must match public will. Our families are ready, our providers are ready, the time is now. The need for increase in funding for pre-K equals more high-quality education, teachers, instructors, and curriculum. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Matlock. Next, we have John Daniel. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Daniel. State your name and address. You have 3 minutes.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. My name is John Daniel. I live at 717 South Riverside Drive here in Memphis. I want to thank you for the support you've given to pre-K funding and to First Aid. And as a board member of First Aid, I'll make a couple of comments because I want to confirm why this is the right investment and more investment in the future is the right investment. I'm a retired HR executive. I moved to Memphis 25 years ago. I learned to love this community. In my retirement years, I'm devoting my life to improving the opportunity for everyone in Memphis to have a better life. I spent a year doing a fellowship trying to study how to do that most effectively. I was the board chair of Seeding Success when we created the idea of First Aid, and I serve on 5 nonprofit boards in the Memphis community that are devoted to improving the quality of our citizens' lives. As a board member of First Aid, I've visited these centers. And what I want to sort of say to you is this is the right investment. I recently released a book about the evolution of the human brain, and while it is not about the brain of children, I learned a lot about how important it is that those first 8 years of life grow in the right kinds of environment. And as a board member of First Aid, as one deeply involved in our community, as one who owns a social entrepreneur vision up to improve the lives of people, I just want to make sure that you have my sort of perspective on why I think this investment in pre-K is the right one. Thank you for doing that. And I appeal to you to continue to make those investments so that we can provide pre-K for all for these delicate brains that we're trying, that'll make, a great community of Memphis. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. Next up, we have James Griffin. Mr. Superintendent, you're up. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for letting me be here. James Griffin, Bo. If you call me James, I won't pay attention. I'm sorry. 6391 Chase Road, Millington, Tennessee. Guys, I'm here today. I gave you a handout to look at. The very first handout is what First Aid has done for us. We are opening up the very first public learning academy in North Shelby County this fall. And it was because of the effort from First Aid to help us to meet those gaps that the State Department does not meet for our pre-K students. If I told you I could give you a 7% return on your investment right now, would you take it? I think you would. We have led all of Shelby County in literacy growth for third graders since we have become part of First Aid. We take the science of reading all the way down to the 4-year-olds. It makes a world of difference. Coming from a high school guy, I had no clue about pre-K. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had no idea how important it was. But every day I see young men and young women working with our little bitty ones, and not only getting them to where they need to be socially, but academically. Because you've got to remember that the great equalizer in Shelby County is education. That's what it is. And it starts at the bottom. And that bottom starts with 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, the special needs children. We have 150 students already in our pre-K program. And our new academy will be able to take up to 300. We'll start with 150, but like today, we had 2 drop out, and we put 2 right back in. We have a waiting list of about 60 kids right now trying to get into our pre-K. So not only is it a necessity, but it's definitely it is more than that. It is a life changer for our kids in Millington, like I said. But thank you again for all you've done for us. But I just want to remind everybody that when I hear the word all, that means everyone. And everyone should have that opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Next up, we have Jared Myers. All right, Mr. Myers, state your name and address, and you'll 3 minutes.
Yes, Jared Myers, 3703 Guernsey Avenue. I'm here. I have a 3-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter. Ms. Sugarman's walking out right now. She was my homeroom teacher a couple years ago. I think it's really important, though. The narrative right now is being spoken about investment and ROI. I think the narrative should be changed to what the city of Memphis should look like in the future in Shelby County. So my ask is not just support First Aid, but I think that there's an emphasis we need to put on not just looking for that return on investment. Like, let's invest in our children, So we love Libertas Montessori School. It's one of the best schools in Memphis, not just in Fraser. And also my daughter is a graduate of Sukasa, which is another school that benefits from this funding. So I ask that you consider to put more into this, not because it's an investment and we're going to see a return, but this is really about the future of Memphis. Thank you. Okay, thank you again, Mr. Myers. Thank you, everyone, for being here and for showing your support.
Commissioners, I need to move to make a clerical amendment on this ordinance, which is to add in the effective date, which is April 29th. There was a blank in there that needs to be filled in. The ordinance does spell out that it'd be effective upon passage of both the county legislative body and the city of Memphis. So I'm going to move to add the effective date be April 29th. Okay, seconded by Commissioner Bradford. Can we do that without objection? Okay, hearing none, that date will be filled in. Commissioner Ford.
Chair, since you made that substantive change, I'd like to move to suspend the rules for the purposes of us not having to go into a fourth reading on this item so that it can be disposed of today.
Okay.
And then I need to speak on that.
Okay,
So-
great. Okay, I was advised that that was not necessary because can you just clarify that? We can do it anyway, but Attorney Ingram?
Marcy Ingram, Legislative Counsel. It's my understanding that that was just a Scribner's error, that it should have been put in there in the beginning as April 29th.
What type of error did she say?
Clerical.
Okay, I like that word better, okay.
Okay, so I think we're okay.
All right.
But why don't we do it just to be sure, because we don't want to have an issue. So it's been moved by Commissioner Ford to suspend the rule that we don't need a fourth reading, seconded by Commissioner Thornton. Can we do that without objection? Great. Hearing none, we will be able to consider this the final reading. Commissioner Ford, it's back on you.
All right, thank you. I had a quick conversation with the doc, and I'm gonna say this, and when I get to a particular part, if you got a child, cover that child's ears. So I just want to make sure, being the fiscal agent, that this money goes where it's supposed to go. That's a lot of work that I know that the fiscal agent has to do for the purposes of making sure that this ordinance is not just codified with all these sponsors and whatnot, but the job actually gets done. And I say that even if it wasn't you, Doc, if it was another fiscal agent, I would be saying the same thing. Because we know, we do want to make sure that whatever monies, whether it's this body or whether it's the state or whether it's somebody local, that the money, if it's supposed to be about the kids, because you know that's the favorite line of folks, it goes to those youth. And I don't have any confidence in that organization at the other 160, but I do have confidence in your organization to actually get the job done. And I appreciate the quarterly reports that you have brought to us to be completely transparent about it all. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say my last part in my second round, but I won't use the whole 2 minutes. I'll go ahead and yield back so that Commissioner Thornton can be recognized.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Ford. Commissioner Thornton?
Thank you, Chair. I do want to, after speaking with legal, make a slight substantive change that will require a suspension of the rules. In the document, if colleagues, you can see one of the whereas clauses references a 90% goal, and it says that, give me 1 second. Shelby County has a goal of having 90% of students arrive to kindergarten ready to learn. This 90%, it violates a basic belief that I have in having 100% all-encompassing goals. So I don't know how many educators, by show of hands, we have in the class, in the audience today. I taught for 7 years, and it would never be okay for me to have a 90% goal in my classroom. It was always taught to me and enforced by the administrations that I worked under to have 100% goals. So I don't even know what 10% of students would fall through the cracks that we would set as a county, that it would be okay in our ordinances that we pass. So if we could change this 90% to 100% to ensure that we're seeking to operate, with fidelity and definitely in alignment with what we are teaching our teachers to do in the classrooms all across Shelby County. So that's just a friendly amendment that I would like to propose today.
Okay.
For the purposes of discussion, I'll second that
Okay.
motion.
Commissioner Thornton has moved to amend the goals in the ordinance from 90% kindergarten readiness to 100% kindergarten readiness. That was seconded by Commissioner Ford for discussion. Commissioner Ford, did you want to address, did you have comment on that or? Okay, all right. Is there any objection to that amendment? Okay, it's objected by Commissioner Caswell.
And if I could just speak to that.
Okay, hang on one second. So that motion was objected to. We'll now have discussion on the motion. Commissioner Caswell?
Again, I appreciate it, Chair, and I understand what my colleague is speaking to and want that percentage. I think in committee to the director here, she spoke to the fact that many of those kids, whether like some of us may hold back our kids, homeschool our kids at that age, and it's not going to get us to 100%. And so I think that if we go that route and we set them up and say at 100 they don't meet it, whether it's the next board that come here and then say you're not reaching 100%, we're setting them up pretty much to fail. And because they're not going out of it, it's just because of the fact that some parents are going to choose to educate their own kids during that time, or have nannies or whoever else to educate that child at that time. So I'm with you wholeheartedly with my colleague. Focus on that we should go for 100%, but I think 100% are the ones who do want to be there. But that's to put that in writing. I think we are setting them up, and that's my only concern.
Okay, all right, thanks, Commissioner Caswell. Before we go too far down this road, Dr. Thomas, will you weigh in, please, on this proposed amendment to change the goal from 90% to 100%?
Well, thank you. Sure. Candace Thomas, 1350 Concourse Avenue. Of course, our goal is that all young children are ready for kindergarten and ready to learn. But as we know, first, just supporting what you said, Commissioner Caswell, is that there are many, many factors that go into what makes a child ready for kindergarten and ready for that type of learning. So many things beyond what happens in a classroom, including family and environment and access to food, etc. So there are many things that contribute to whether or not a child is ready to learn. And you may remember that right now we are at I think we're at 58% of our children in our community are kindergarten ready. So we want to continue to increase those goals so that a few years ago during COVID, we were less than 58%, and now we're at 58%, and our goal is to continue to increase kindergarten readiness. It'll take us many, many years as a community to get to 100%. Administratively, I'll also say that given that we're at the third reading right now, the City Council has done 2 readings of this same joint ordinance. So then we would have to bring this back to the city as a change. So I just ask you all to think about that administratively. Do we want to prolong the process, making that sort of change in the document?
Okay, thanks very much. Commissioner Thornton.
So just for clarification, the city hasn't done its third reading?
Correct. They've
Okay.
done 2 readings.
So they could do the same process of suspending the rules. I just don't want us to get too caught up in trying to make this a small issue. 90% is not 100%, and we also right now are not even performing at 90%. So it's a moot point to me of increasing it from 90 to 100%. You should have all-encompassing goals, because the gap is going to be represented more than likely from a district like District 10. I do not feel that putting 100% is going to threaten our commitment to pre-K. And definitely what I've heard today, those are not convincing arguments for why we should keep a 90% goal. 100% is what we teach our teachers to put in their classrooms, to be able to teach to, because we don't want any student to fall through the gap. And when you're using language that we're going to serve all children, 90% does not cast a vision for all children. So to me, I do think it's incumbent upon this body to make sure that we're casting robust, all-encompassing vision for all students. What is the difference between 90% and 100%? I don't understand a body that would be a 90% body. So when it says that Shelby County has the goal, I just wanted to be very clear that I don't know who is holding the space for Shelby County, but when it comes to this commissioner's involvement with this whole whereas clause, I'm 100% for Shelby County being able to have all of our students kindergarten ready as our stated goals. And that's all this is a goal. It doesn't guarantee or stipulate or require that you have a performance at a 90% or even 100%. It's a goal. So why can't we have an all-encompassing goal? So I would hope that my colleagues would support the 100%. The only objections that I've heard today is that it's going to throw off City of Memphis reading. They haven't had the third reading. On the third reading, they could suspend the rules to adopt the amendment. The other thing that I heard was from Commissioner Caswell, that it would throw off your capacity to be able to get funding in the future. It shouldn't throw off the commitment of this body because, again, as we're committed to the 90%, we should be committed to the 100%. Nobody from any city legislator should not say, oh, you did not reach the 100% goal, so you don't deserve to continue to receive funding. I think that would be a hard case to have, particularly with the delegation of advocates that you have behind you. So I would hope that y'all would support this 100%. Again, you teach teachers every single day to go for 100%. We should not fall short here on the Shelby County Commission. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Commissioner Thornton. Commissioner Ford?
On this item, to the maker of this motion, City Council doesn't have the same rules over there. They can modify anything they want on third and final reading, and they don't have to have a fourth reading. So to your point, I don't see a disruption on the timeline. If this is something that people disagree on that's not timeline related, then that's something else. That organization over there at the other 160, they have had 100% goals on particular things. I remember something from back in the day talking about all students college bound, but we knew that was not the case, but it was a 100% goal on that. But if it's a timeline issue, I just talked about what the rule is on the other side, so that should not be the issue. But if it's something else that's philosophical, we can have that debate. But as my colleague said, this is just a goal. So you're correct. They could make that same motion whenever they meet, I think next week. And we would just have to go from there. But I understand where you're coming from on that. I just want to make sure that it goes to the youth in pre-K, regardless if it's 80, 90%, 100%. I'll talk about that after we get off of this particular motion. But I have no issue with that. But at the end of the day, it's just a number. It's good to have high standards. One thing that I did not like that the school system did was actually lower the standards when it comes to grading. I mean, when I was in school in 95 was an A. I think it's 90 now, and I don't even know what it is now. You get half the questions right, you pass. Where else can you go in real life situations and get half of everything right and still be sustainable? So I support the motion that's on the floor. I want us to have high goals, and as we said before, we might not even reach the 90, but let's just do the best that we can so that our youth can be great positive contributors to society after they leave pre-K / middle / high school. So I'll rise in favor of this item, the amendment that's on the floor. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Commissioner Ford. Commissioner Lowry?
Thank you, Chair. Just a question to the presenter. Any issue other than what you stated with?
No, sir, there are no issues with that.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. All right. Madam Clerk, please prepare the screen to vote on the motion to amend. So yes, changes it to 100%. No, keeps it at 90%. Yeah, we'll say it out. Okay. You can close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Sugarman, Mills, Ford, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. Commissioner Caswell has voted no. I have 7 ayes and 1 no.
All right, so that amendment passes. Commissioner Mills?
Thank you. I just had a question on the ordinance. It's ordinance number and a blank line. Does that line need to be filled in, or no? No? Okay. My next question is, First Date, are y'all set? You're the fiscal agent on this, correct? Moving forward?
We are until June 30th, so we'll be renegotiating a contract with the city and the county to be a fiscal agent going forward.
Okay. And then do you do anything outside, what more do you do outside of that? Other than
Outside of
fiscal
pre-K?
agent? Fiscal agent for this program?
We are head of early learning in Memphis and Shelby County, prenatal to age 8. So pre-K is a major focus for us, but our efforts are prenatal to 8.
Okay, and then I saw on the board, which I'm supportive of this, and Ms. Carpenter that spoke first, I have a senior too, so I'm in the same boat as you. The board appointees, the two bodies appoint one, and how is that done? People send in applications, or is chosen by the chair and we vote on it?
It depends on the body. So the county commission, the chair of the commission would appoint someone to the board. For the county government,
Okay.
Mayor Harris appoints someone to the board. Same for the city. Mayor Young appointed someone to our board, as well as the chair of city council.
Okay, and is this growing, remind me, this ordinance, is this redoing what we're already doing, or are we growing this time?
It's an update to what we've already been doing to be more expansive,
Okay.
to include 3-year-olds, and to make sure that it was available regardless of income.
Okay, and then the cost on that, I didn't notice that in the ordinance.
Correct. That the ordinance just sets your policy. The cost on it will be a part of our contract negotiation.
Okay, and roughly what will that be?
Well, right now, the county invests $9.5 million in pre-K. We will be asking for an increase for next year.
Okay, by how much, roughly?
$1.5 million.
Another 5 million?
1.5.
1 okay, because I was like, where do we have? Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Mills. Commissioner Ford?
All right, hopefully my last comments, and I'm glad you asked those questions, Commissioner Mills, because when this was started with Mayor Strickland and Luttrell, there were a lot of questions on who was going to be the custodian to make sure that this actually got done. And I think y'all have been the fiscal agent ever since day one.
Correct.
All right. And have you been the head since day one?
I have.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Because you could be doing anything else besides, and look, you got a lot of that behind you that you can't see. Yes, yes. And I'll say this. You're doing a lot of great work, and I'm glad that you are the head of the fiscal agent, because until the time that trust comes back regarding that school system, we have to focus on these fiscal agents making sure that the money goes where it needs to go. We tried the maintenance of effort deal, but it's sort of like signing a blank check and you don't know where that money's going to go. And at least with the fiscal agent, that fiscal agent is charged with making sure that the monies go exactly where they need to go. If y'all haven't looked at these quarterly reports that Dr. Thomas brings, it's sort of like a story when you start off with the beginning of the fiscal year and you see how everything culminates. So I would ask the people in the audience and others, if you get that First Date email, please click the information so that you can see it, so you won't have to necessarily ask, well, what have they done? They've done a lot of work. And then I'll say this lastly, and it's unfortunate to have to say this, but I say this right before budget season and before your request for $1.5 million extra. You know, listening to that school board's meeting, if y'all go back to the 59-minute mark of the last school board meeting, you're going to find out that there was some money that had to be given back. That could have taken care of your $1.5 million and some, Dr. Thomas. This could have taken care of your $1.5 million for a whole term. But go back to the 59-minute mark. You know, there was federal money that we got, $182 million here. They got $750 million over there. They had to give back $55 million that they didn't spend of federal money. $55 million. Now, unless I heard something wrong, which I don't think I did, y'all go listen to yourself. Because I know when they come begging here in my last 10 seconds, y'all might want to cover your child's ear. I'll give the PG version. MSCS ain't standing for Memphis Shelby County Schools. It's standing for more S coming soon. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Commissioner Ford. Commissioner Thornton.
Thank you, Chair. $55 million would have been great to use for this next question. How far are we from offering universal pre-K here in Shelby County as a fiscal note? I know we've talked about it a lot, but I mean, from a $9 million investment, just increasing it $1.5 million, that's not a very significant ask. And so I'm just curious, how have we quantified what universal pre-K would cost us as a city and county investment?
We are 3 years away from offering it to as many four-year-olds as we think will be a part of our program, and we're 5 years away of offering it to 3-year-olds that will encompass the program. So it will take a 5-year implementation plan to include all the young children and babies that we want in the program.
And what is setting that time frame of the 3 and 5 year?
First State Memphis has set that implementation timeline.
What could expedite that?
More money can expedite it.
So that was my question.
As well as teacher, so we don't have, the funding, number one, you all may remember that we have a teacher shortage in this community. So we have to do a lot to ensure that we have the teachers and the providers for young children. And then also a lot of what teachers have said to us is that they want to make sure they're prepared to work with 3-year-olds, that a lot of the teacher training programs don't really train in child development. So we are building out an implementation plan to address all of those concerns.
Okay.
So that's why it will take 5 years.
But if we had the teachers and the programming, how much would it cost for us in our next budget cycle to be able to offer universal pre-K in Shelby County?
I would have to get back to you unless my colleagues have an answer right away, but I know it was upwards of $30 million.
Okay, 30 million. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the work that y'all do, and thank y'all for being here today.
Okay. Thanks so much. Commissioner Mills.
Thank you. Another question. Could we get clarification on this ordinance on how it's coordinated with the 7 municipalities? Is it just Millington? Is it all of them? What?
Currently, Millington and Bartlett as a part of our pre-K efforts. We are hoping to see Collierville, Lakeland, and Germantown be a part as we grow,
Okay. What about Arlington?
and Arlington as well.
Okay. I had to ask about that one.
Absolutely, sorry.
That's okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks y'all very much. Thank you again for being here. I think we're ready to vote on this. As the parliamentarian stated, this vote's going to require 9 votes. There are 9 of us here. We still need a few to join us so that we can take this final vote. But just again, want to thank everyone for coming out to advocate over the years, doing the work every day. We know how important it really is. So I think we're ready to vote. Madam Clerk, please prepare the screen to vote. Item 33 as amended. We've already suspended the rules so that we no longer have to do a 4th reading. This can be the final reading. Okay. All right, Madam Clerk, please close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Caswell, Sugarman, Mills, Ford, Wright, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. We have 9 aye votes.
Okay, item 33 passes. Okay. Thank you all again. Thank you for being here. Okay, next up, item 34.
Item 34 comes from the Economic Development and Tourism Committee with Commissioner Brooks as vice chair. Okay.
As y'all are exiting, please keep the voices off until you get outside so we can continue the meeting. All right, we can go ahead.
So item 34 is an ordinance third reading, a joint ordinance of the Board of County Commissioners of Shelby County, Tennessee, and the Council of the City of Memphis enacted pursuant to the Community Redevelopment Act of 1998 and the Uniformity in Tax Increment Financing Act of 2012, providing for the establishment of the Cleveland Street Corridor Redevelopment Trust Fund Ordinance, sponsored by Commissioner Mikkel Lowry, Commissioner Henry E. Brooks, Commissioner Shante K. Avant, and Commissioner Brittany Thornton. Chair, as this item is on third reading, once it is properly before us, I ask that you allow me to read the summary into the record.
All right, item 34 is moved by Commissioner Sugarman, seconded by Commissioner Bradford. This item came down with a favorable recommendation. Madam Parliamentarian, please read the summary of item 34.
This is a joint ordinance between Shelby County Government and the City of Memphis establishing the Cleveland Street Corridor Redevelopment Trust Fund. The ordinance furthers the approval of a community-based tax increment finance district for the Cleveland Street Corridor. The community redevelopment plan includes, but does not limit, identified priority initiatives such as the following: development of the area into a multimodal, commercial, and residential district, attract private investment, and alleviate conditions of blight. This summary is provided with reference to Article 2, Section 2.06C of the Shelby County Charter and requires a simple majority to pass.
Okay, thank you. I have a few comment cards on this item that I'd like to take up first before we have any debate and vote on this item. First up, we have Scott Morris. All right, Mr. Morris, come on up, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
So I'm Scott Morris, 1692 Lawrence Avenue. I'm the founder of Church Health. We're the largest faith-based privately funded health center in America. There are 80,000 people in Memphis we provide health care for. We focus on people who work in low-wage jobs who don't have health insurance. So we're the anchor tenant at Crosstown Concourse. But for 38 years, Church Health has had a deep interest and commitment to the whole Cleveland corridor. For all this time, we began with property on the south side of the street. We then moved to the very north, very interested in the pre-K issue. We started a pre-K school called Perea that's now the Schools of Perea. But then being intimately involved in the redevelopment of Crosstown Concourse, we care unbelievably about the future development of the Cleveland corridor. We're not going away. This is an unbelievably important development for the work of Church Health and many of our patients and those that we care for. So I hope you will look favorably on the plan. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Next up, we have Tracy Burgess. All right, welcome. Good afternoon. State your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. My name is Tracy Burgess. I live at 1374 North Parkway. As the executive director of the Dorothy Day House, we provide temporary housing and support for unhoused families in Memphis. Our first property opened up almost 20 years ago on Poplar Avenue, just west of, it's at Poplar at Garland, just east of Cleveland, I'm sorry. I've been the director for 3 years, but involved with that organization for 10 years. Additionally, my husband and I run Lucy J's Bakery at Crosstown Concourse, which employs parents who we meet through the Dorothy Day House, and they're transitioning out of a period of homelessness. Our children attend Crosstown High. I drive north and south on Cleveland Street more times than I can count in a day. It's a street that desperately needs help. Needless to say, my family and I are completely invested in that community. I believe, based on my past experiences of building a business with Todd and Scott on my side and others, that this revitalization will be intentional to include the community and the social services that are a part of Cleveland Street. And I'm excited for this project and the possibilities that it brings. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Burgess. Next up, we have Kiki Hall. All right, good afternoon, Ms. Hall. State your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. Kiki Hall, Catholic Charities of West Tennessee, 1325 Jefferson Avenue. Good afternoon. As I stated, I'm the Senior Director at Catholic Charities located on the southwest corner of Jefferson Avenue and North Cleveland Street. Catholic Charities has been a mainstay in this neighborhood, now serving the needs of our homeless and most vulnerable since 1971. For almost 54 years, we have welcomed individuals and families in crisis. We assess and address their needs and assist them as they seek a better future. Currently on our campus, we serve approximately 150 to 200 homeless and low-income individuals each day, and over 100 families daily with basic essentials such as food, clothing, hygiene products, and baby essentials. We also have the second largest housing agency in Shelby County and offer other family support programs and case management. Although we're chartered to serve the 21 counties of West Tennessee, 80 to 85% of our services are right here in Shelby County. Last year, our agency served over 50,000 people in need, and our housing department was able to end homelessness or prevent eviction for over 700 individuals. I'm also proud to say that we attract volunteers from all over West Tennessee last year, having over 2,500 volunteers that come and see us at our Midtown location to volunteer with us to help serve those in need. And as you may know, in the last few years, we have made great investments into our campus, tearing down an old school gym and making a large, beautiful green space complete with picnic tables under a pavilion, a peaceful walking and sitting area, and an urban garden for the community to use and enjoy. The vision for our campus is not only the beautification of our neighborhood, but also to welcome those in our community to enjoy this rare green space in Midtown and to bring people together to help those in need. And for those who we serve to have a place of respite, peace, and hope. Our future plan is for our campus to be a one-stop shop for those seeking assistance, where multiple community partners and agencies will all be on hand to holistically serve our vulnerable. So this Cleveland corridor will be key to that development and for that future growth. Catholic Charities is committed to continuing serving in this community, ensuring our campus remains an active and beautiful part of Midtown, and we are very excited about these plans for this Cleveland Street corridor. We look forward to working with all of our community partners, especially Todd, Pastor Turner, Dr. Morris, and Tracy, on this wonderful and very much needed project for this part of town. This plan will not only improve the entire area, but will attract other community partners and enhance the high quality care, hospitality, and social services that Catholic Charities and other organizations in this area provide to our neighbors. I respectfully ask for your support. Thank you.
Okay, thank you again, Ms. Hall. At this time, I'd like to call up Dr. Turner, one of the applicants, if you have any words for us before we vote on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Jason Lawrence Turner, 70 North Bellevue Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee, 38104. I'm the senior pastor of Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church, Disciples of Christ, a congregation that has been in Memphis for over a century, but moved into Midtown in 1992. I'm here with our church council moderator, and just quickly, just wanted to speak in favor of the Cleveland Street Corridor TIF. Our church has self-determination to develop its 23 contiguous acres in the Midtown Medical District for not only worship purposes, but also residential, social service, educational, retail, and culinary purposes. We believe that we can build a community that reflects not only Memphis culture, but creates a sense of place for people of various social strata in the city of Memphis. I support this TIF most of all because it is a collaborative, community-based TIF that will give community members a say in directing the administration of the funds generated by this TIF. And so I'll close with a very well-known African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We believe this TIF is a vehicle that will cause our community to work together towards the realization of its betterment, not only for itself, but for the city of Memphis and for Shelby County. Thank you for your consideration.
Okay, thank you so much, Reverend Turner. All right, Commissioner Sugarman.
Thank you, Chair. And so I just want to commend everyone regarding this TIF. I support it, of course, but when you all finish here, I encourage you all to come out to Hickory Hill because we also need a TIF. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Commissioner Sugarman. Commissioner Thornton.
Thank you, Chair. I want to echo just commending this group. It's been a very thoughtful process. Very quickly after I've ever made a request to meet, Justin has been on it within same day, like us jumping on a call. And I was just really impressed and amazed to see how willing your team was to be able to work through any of the questions that I've had. I think that you set the TIF process just the bar so high. So I appreciate you for all the work that y'all put into this, for it being thoughtful, for the social service organizations coming down today. A lot of my questions were just pushing to be able to hear what is going to be the felt impact for the social service organizations that serve our city. My experience with your TIF area is that we, in the context of homelessness, force a lot of homeless people to come to this area to receive service. And so what you're doing to this area, whether or not you're planning thoughtfully to factor in the city that is going to continue hopefully to be in this particular part of the city, it matters. You know, if you build it up and it's very attractive and it's exclusive, or it's something that doesn't welcome the bodies that it's served in the past, then those persons need to be a part of this building process so that they can figure out, do we stay here? Do we go somewhere else? Do we push into conversation? So I'm looking to Catholic Charities because I have to refer a lot to you. You know, there are very few services that serve the homeless in our city. So oftentimes you're on the short list of people that I'm continuously having to refer to. So I hope that your voice continues to be, you know, welcome into these spaces and to these conversations, because we need you to think through, like, what does that lived experience look like for the persons that are going to have to wait on their doctor's appointment. And, you know, just getting to your TIF was a part of their biggest hurdle. Getting to their service provider was the next. And so I hope that you will plan thoughtfully and that we would see something with the limited spaces we talked about. You know, I think it's just like one lot of green space, that you would get creative to figure out how to make it warm, welcoming, and just a flow. You know, I wish lots of success for your area, and I look forward to following this. You know, as we're sunsetting the Uptown TIF, this is the new and exciting space for us to look to see, and just shout out to all of your players for just being so thoughtful. So thank you, and yeah, I just can't say thank you enough. Thank you again.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Commissioner Thornton. Commissioner Lowry?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I just want to say, again, echoing some of those thoughts, but thank you for all the way you've gone about applying for this TIF. I think it's textbook. The way you've gone about doing this as well. I know my colleague isn't here as well, who also is a sponsor, but I know she would echo in the same. So one of the means that you put this language in to make sure that communities are included. So thank you for that. Proud to see it go forward. It's obviously in my district as well. It includes my church and everything else that's involved. So I'm excited about this. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Lowry. I think we're ready to vote. Madam Clerk, please spread the screen to vote on item 34. All right, we can close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Caswell, Sugarman, Mills, Ford, Wright, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. We have 9 aye votes.
Item 34 passes. Item number 35.
Item 35 comes from the General Government Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Brooks. Item 35 is an ordinance third reading. Ordinance approving and setting the salary for the Board of County Commissioners for Shelby County, Tennessee for the 2026 through 2030 term of office to account for inflation, effective after the August 2026 election, sponsored by Commissioner Erica Sugarman. This item is on third reading. I'm going to actually read the ordinance because less than 2 typewritten pages.
Okay, item 35, moved by Commissioner Sugarman, seconded by Commissioner Thornton. We need a committee. Commissioner Sugarman, can you give us a committee report?
Yes, it was favorable.
Okay, favorable recommendation. Madam
then
Parliamentarian, please read the summary. Okay, all right, Commissioner Sugarman.
Okay, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Commissioner Ford. And so I move to defer it to the May 5th commission meeting.
Okay, Commissioner Sugarman's moved to defer item 35 to the May 5th Commission meeting seconded by Commissioner Thornton. Can we do that without objection? All right, hearing none. Item 35 is deferred to May 5th. Item number 36.
Item 36 comes from the General Government Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Brooks. Item 36 is an ordinance, second reading, ordinance approving and setting the salary of the Shelby County Sheriff for the 2026 through 2030 term of office, sponsored by Commissioner Dr. Edmund Ford Jr.
Okay, item 36 moved by Commissioner Sugarman, seconded by Commissioner Thornton. Commissioner Ford, do you want to give us a committee report?
This came down with a favorable recommendation, Chair.
Okay, thank you. You're recognized.
All right, I gave this information out the last 3 times in committee, so I want you all to look at the second page first. That's the one with the salaries. Oh, you got it front and the back. I want you to look at comparable salaries and positions and their population. As of right now, your Nashville-Davidson Metro Chief, who is responsible for a population of 712,000, makes $287,260 a year. The Knox County Chief, with a 500,000 population, makes $208,601 a year. Your Memphis Police Chief makes $280,000 a year. The current county sheriff's salary is $199,500 a year. And I just put the Germantown Police Chief, looking at that population of 40,000, the chief makes $150,000 flat. If we go back and look at MSCS's security director, that salary is ranged from $168,000 to $243,000. This is the one time that we are able to modify the salary for the sheriff. And I want y'all to see the UTC task page. Here's some information. Let's look at the 920,000 population class. You have the minimum salaries that all of these individuals would make. We had to increase the sheriff's salary for the purposes of many things. Number one, it was in misalignment with what others were making. Number two, as I said before, we only are allowed to do this one time every 4 years, and we have to do it the year before an election. And when you look at some of the fee officials, those are your clerks and whatnot, it was brought to my attention from the trustee that out of 95 counties, we're the only county where the mayor's administration makes more than your assessors, your administrator of elections, and your fee officials, that's your clerks and everybody else. We're the only county where those appointed individuals make more than the elected individuals. I wanted to put this in perspective for the purposes of us being able to center the salary for the sheriff. This is also a recommendation by the Sheriff Deputy Association, the $235,000 that's in the ordinance where the blank was filled a couple of weeks ago. And if anybody had any questions, we really didn't have anybody in committee on this, and I didn't want to keep on holding. If they're not going to be there, I can't control that. So if anybody wanted to entertain any questions for the purposes of us being able to possibly look at this for a third reading, Chair, I'll be glad to entertain it. And it also needs 9 votes on the third and final reading.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Commissioner Thornton.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, I see it in the caption. This applies to the next term. Okay, thank you.
Right.
All right. All right, great. We're on second reading on this. Madam Clerk, we can prepare the screen to vote. Okay, we can close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Caswell, Sugarman, Mills, Ford, Wright, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. We have 9 aye votes.
Item 36 goes to a third reading. Item 37.
Item 37 comes from the Workforce Development Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Sugarman. Item 37 is an ordinance second reading, an ordinance amending Article 4, Division 3, Section 2-231 of the Shelby County Code of Ordinances, creating a procurement initiative to incentivize apprenticeship programs for construction vendors in Shelby County, sponsored by Commissioner Erica Sugarman and Commissioner Brittany Thornton. This item was substituted in April 9th, 2025 committee meeting.
All right, item 37 is moved by Commissioner Sugarman, seconded by Commissioner Thornton. Commissioner Sugarman, can we have a committee report?
Yes, this was favorable, and I would like to make a motion. And before I make the motion, I want to state on record, I've been talking with various construction companies, and they were saying that this incentive is not an incentive that they would will inspire them to have an apprenticeship program. And so having said that, I am meeting with them to see what exactly they would like to see in the ordinance to incentivize them to carry out an apprenticeship program. And again, they do want to expand the skilled workforce in Shelby County, and that's really needed. And we're looking at, young people as well as young adults, et cetera. But I want the construction companies to be on board and to be incentivized. And so we're working through that. And therefore, I move to defer this to the Wednesday, May 14th committee meeting.
All right, moved by Commissioner Sugarman to refer to May 14th committee, seconded by Commissioner Caswell. Can we do that without objection? All right, hearing none. Item 37 is deferred to committee on May 14th. All right, let's go to item 38.
Item 38 comes from the Budget and Finance Committee with Chairman Whaley as acting chair. Item 38 is a resolution calling the Shelby County Board of Equalization into its sessions for tax year 2025, sponsored by Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs. This item is an add-on in April 9th, 2025 committee meeting.
Okay, item 38, moved by Commissioner Sugarman, seconded by Commissioner Wright. I've served as chairman of the committee, comes with a favorable recommendation. Okay, all right, very good. Good afternoon. Do you have a report?
Good afternoon. Just Tamika Stanton Riley, Administrator for Board of Equalization, here in case anyone has any questions.
Okay, I think we're good to go here. Madam Clerk, please prepare the screen to vote on item 38. All right, we can close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Caswell, Sugarman, Mills, Wright, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. We have 8 aye votes.
Item 38 passes. Item 39.
Item 39 comes from the Budget and Finance Committee with Chairman Whaley as acting chair. Item 39 is a resolution to amend Resolution 38 from the July 22nd, 2024 Shelby County Commission meeting to reallocate and appropriate fiscal year FY 2025 capital improvement project CIP funds in the amount of $77,901 from Public Works for the purpose of installing cameras in District 12. This item requires a reallocation of County Commission CIP funds in the amount not to exceed $77,901, sponsored by Commissioner Erica Sugarman. This item was an add-on in April 9th, 2025 committee meeting.
All right, item 39, moved by Commissioner Sugarman, seconded by Commissioner Caswell. I served as chair of the committee, comes with a favorable recommendation. Commissioner Sugarman, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. So I just want to remind my colleagues, this is a CIP money that you've already spent, and the purpose originally was to go towards replacing a swing set and water fountain at a park. However, after speaking with Clifford Novo, and also this commission voting down $300,000 that was intended to support the efforts of revitalizing a park and in Hickory Hill, it was voted down. And so this is not enough money, so I'm going to reallocate the money that was allocated towards replacing a swing set and a water fountain to putting up cameras in my district. And so hopefully you all will support this effort.
All right, thanks, Commissioner Sugarman. Seeing no one on the screen, Madam Clerk, let's prepare the screen to vote on item 39. All right, we can close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Caswell, Sugarman, Mills, Wright, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. We have 8 aye votes.
Item 39 passes. Item number 40.
Item 40 comes from the Hospitals and Health Committee with Commissioner Sugarman as acting chair. Item 40 is a resolution amending the FY 2025 Shelby County Health Department Grant Fund operating budget in the amount of $411,000 for the period beginning August 1st, 2024 through July 31st, 2025 for the purpose of improving the monitoring of carbon monoxide in Shelby County. This item requires the appropriation and expenditure of FY 2025 grant funds in an amount not to exceed $411,000. Sponsored by Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs. This item was an add-on and amended in April 9th, 2025 committee meeting.
Okay, we need a mover and seconder, item 40. Moved by Commissioner Ford, seconded by Commissioner Thornton. Commissioner Sugarman, can we have a committee report?
It was favorable.
Thank you. Commissioner Ford?
Can we go to the deputy director first to explain this, because I want to put this
All
as
right.
an exhibit after the explanation.
Okay, Director Alexander.
Good afternoon, Casey Smith Alexander, Deputy Director. What you have before you is an item that was asked to bring to you guys' attention, so I will explain it to you. So what you are looking at is a map showing the various zip codes. I will get a little meteorology on you to explain it so that you can understand about the prevailing winds and how we have to capture the information. When the winds are calm and very light, areas within the 1.5 radius, the red circle, will have the best representation from the proposed Shelby County Health Department site. This means that there may be little difference within the radius and the air monitoring concentration values. Note that even within a close proximity to the air monitoring site, there are other factors that may help to increase or decrease the concentration values. These factors may include close pollution sources, such as traffic patterns, roads, and interstates, industrial sources at all. Weather factors such as wind speed, wind direction, humidity, temperature, and precipitation may also affect the area pollutant represented of the proposed monitoring site. The zip code within the radius of this proposed site is 38109 and 38106. On the next page, you will see the blue circle. When wind speeds are medium, 5 to 8 miles per hour, the 3.5 mile radius from the proposed site may experience a greater representation of air pollution concentration values from the proposed air monitoring site. But to increase the distance, it may change the concentration between the area within the blue circle and the air pollutant concentration values, along with several other factors. These factors may include pollution sources from industrial sites, traffic patterns, and interstate. Within or adjacent to the blue radius circle, as well as weather factors. Aside from the wind speed, other weather factors that may influence the location of the pollutant stream include wind direction, humidity, precipitation, and temperature. The zip code within the 3.5 mile radius, in addition to the 1.5, includes 38113, 38136, 38126, 38101, 38103, 38104, and 38190. The last circle, the purple circle. When winds are moderate, 8 to 10, the 5.5 mile radius that have the representation from the proposed site, but with some reduced correlation. This is dependent on local source pollution, which does include industrial sites, traffic patterns, and again, interstate. Within an adjacent radius of the circle, weather factors, in addition to wind speed and direction and humidity, will play a role in determining whether the area has adequate representation from the proposed air monitoring site. As winds increase more than 10 miles per hour, air pollution that may have passed near the proposed site may disperse or possibly lift weather factors. The zip codes that are affected within this 5.5 radius to the 1.5 and the 3.5 include, lost my train of thought, 38105, 38114, 38194, 38131, 38186, 38116, 38118, 38114, and 38107. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll go to the queue. Commissioner Ford.
I need to make a motion for the presentation to be added as Exhibit C.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and probably second. Can we do that without objection? Hearing none, so moved.
All right. Thank you for getting me the information. You know, many of the people that were here regarding wanted the health department to do some things. I will say that this is one thing that I'm glad that we are getting the entire drawdown from the EPA money for the purposes of making sure that this particular apparatus will be in 38109 to abate many of the challenges that people have stated regarding carbon monoxide and other things, because when DeJuan Gillum was before he became the CAO over here, many things that we were working on dealt with the abatement of the unpleasantries that were over there, if that makes sense. So I really don't have any questions, because in committee, I asked for one thing, and I'm glad that the radii of what you have here, it hits a whole lot of other zip codes and whatnot. So I will say that this is definitely something that I'm glad that is being brought in. I'll simply say this: we can always talk about the takeaway, but it takes real leadership to talk about what you're going to add and multiply to the community. So I'm glad that this is something that's actually being done and brought. So whenever we have any visitors that come and they talk about this, that, and the other, they need to know that some work is actually being done. And this is not just the end. This is just the drawdown of one EPA grant. We know it's going to be a lot of changes up in DC, so this may be the be-all, end-all. We don't know. So we'll just find out as we go. But lastly, I'll say this. In committee, my name was supposed to be on here after Commissioner Bibbs as a sponsor for several reasons. One, I added language. Two, we've already had previous conversations. And three, this is the district I represent. So I don't know, that's a scribble error or whatever the case may be, but that's supposed to be next to Bibbs' name. So do I need to make another motion to re-add myself as a sponsor? Or are we fine with that? Scribble.
Okay, well, let's, for extra security, let's make the motion
All right.
again.
I'd like to be re-added as a working sponsor on this particular item.
All right, moved by Commissioner Ford to be added as a sponsor, seconded by Commissioner Sugarman. Without objection, Commissioner Ford, you're added as a sponsor.
All right, I'm done, Chair.
Okay, all right, thanks so much. Thank you for the presentation. Madam Clerk, let's prepare the screen to vote on item 40. All right, we can close the screen and record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioners Caswell, Sugarman, Mills, Ford, Bradford, Thornton, Lowry, and Chairman Whaley. We have 8 aye votes.
Item 40 passes. Item 41.
Item 41 comes from the General Government Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Brooks. Item 41 is a resolution requiring the Chief Administrator of the Board of Shelby County Commissioners to provide monthly line item financial reports to the Board of Shelby County Commissioners. Sponsored by Commissioner Erica Sugarman, this item was an add-on in April 9th, 2025 committee meeting.
All right, item 41 moved by Commissioner Sugarman, seconded by Commissioner Caswell. Commissioner Sugarman, you want to give us a committee report?
It was favorable.
All right,
And
thanks so much.
also, I'd like to make
And-
a motion to move to defer this to the May 5th commission meeting.
All right, is there a second? Okay, Commissioner Sugarman's moved to defer to May 5th commission meeting, seconded by Commissioner Thornton. Can we do that without objection? Okay, all right, Commissioner Ford.
I understand why my colleague wants to take this back up. I know we don't have everybody here, but I'm just going to say this very quickly. Go back and look at the comptroller letter regarding our budget. The comptroller has required line item. So if the comptroller is requiring it for administration to bring the budget back right, we should do the same thing and make sure that we have these financial reports as well. If you're one of the 13 commissioners, you should be able to receive the information accordingly. And Chair, we have not had that prior to you. So I'm asking you, you've done a better job than the previous. Can we make this happen? Because this should not even be on the agenda. This should just be an easy request. Comptroller's already requiring it. Can we just go ahead and make it happen, please? So that we won't have to have these type of items come up. I mean, like I said before, you've done better than the previous. And it didn't take that much to do that, but I appreciate you. But that's all I got to say on that. And I hate this got to go back to committee, but can we just get it done?
Okay,
Thank you.
great. All right, thanks, Commissioner Ford. So without objection, item 41 will go, not to committee. I think you wanted to send it to May 5th, correct? Okay, to May 5th commission meeting. Okay, item number 42.
Item 42 comes from the General Government Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Brooks. Item 42 is a resolution requesting the chair of the Board of Shelby County Commissioners initiates the request for qualifications or single source procurement process to engage an outside consultant to perform a comprehensive process audit for the Shelby County Commission's operations, including the County Commission, Minutes Department, and Office of Equal Opportunity. This item requires an allocation of up to $50,000 from the County Commission's Consultant Services Fund to cover the costs. Sponsored by Commissioner Erica Sugarman and Commissioner Brittany Thornton, this item was an add-on and amended in April 9th, 2025 committee meeting.
All right, item 42 moved by Commissioner Sugarman, seconded by Commissioner Thornton. Commissioner Sugarman, you want to give us a committee report?
Yes, it was favorable.
All right.
Also, I'd like to also move to defer this to the May 5th commission meeting.
All right, Commissioner Sugarman's moved to defer to May 5th commission meeting, seconded by Commissioner Caswell. Can we do that without objection? All right, hearing none, item 42, deferred to May 5th. All right, and that is all today. We are now on the announcements or statements. Commissioners, any announcements or statements, you can jump in the queue. Commissioner Caswell.
I just want to announce tomorrow we won't be having a weekly stakeholder meeting. Go get your taxes done.
Okay, good reminder. April 15th. Anyone else? All right, seeing no one else on the screen, we are now adjourned till Monday, May 5th, 2025, 3 p.m.